College of Charleston basketball legend Jermel President's nonprofit organization, DAE Foundation, is partnering with the Charleston County Department of Public Safety to educate student athletes and the rest of the public about public safety. Today, I talk one-on-one with Jermel President and Joshua Williamson with the Charleston County Department of Public Safety for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Jermel President and Joshua Williamson. Jermel, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups. And Joshua, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, appreciate it. Jermel, I know you wanted to bring me back on Quintin's Close-Ups because obviously, as you know, you are actually having an event coming up soon because you're teaming up with the Charleston County Department of Public Safety, which Joshua works for, and you're bringing the Low Country, obviously, together for this Safety DAE. The mission of the partnership is to help educate student athletes and raise awareness about public safety.
That's correct.
Tell me, why this, why now?
Well, we think it's important that the community, well, you know, we focus on student athletes the whole time, but the community is just as well needs to be more informed about public safety. There's a lot of things out there, a lot of resources that, and I'll let Josh touch on that in a second, but there's a lot of resources out there that kids and their families need to know about. So giving them access to that type of information is very important. And I think the Jermel President free throw shooting contest is important to kind of get them kind of hooked to get in here, to get this information that their departments will be delivering.
And Joshua, I know that you're a public safety community outreach coordinator for Charleston County. Where is this access now?
Right now, the access of public safety community outreach coordinator is the marketplace of educating the citizens, educating the community about public safety. This is actually a new position that came about within public safety, and the position was just to brand public safety, especially in the sense of preparing citizens for natural disasters, preparing citizens for emergency responses, just making sure that they are aware of the services and the resources that public safety have for them.
So what are those services and resources now?
Those services are services such as criminal justice reform. We educated the citizens about that. Not only that, is preparing and educating citizens about emergency services. Many folks do not understand what to do when there's an emergency situation, so preparing them for that. Also preparing citizens for fire safety and prevention. Many have their own outlook or how they go about with providing safety, but when we have public safety first responders come in and educate, train them on those matters, citizens are become more successful with that information, and it benefit them in the long run.
And what else, does public safety benefit the public as well as student athletes?
Well, like you said, just the common, individual, right, that needs this information just happen to be student athletes per se. So, for example, take this situation where a student athlete is on a boating trip and someone is drowning. If they don't know CPR, that's a life that's lost because they didn't have the proper ways on how to treat the athlete. So with this partnership with what we're doing with Charleston County and bringing this event here, Safety Day, it's kind of a education and kind of an athletics event, which we're all about. And we just think this would be a great opportunity for the community to come see what the new resource. Now, thinking back in the days, we just called 911 because that's all we know. And if a situation happened, there's different other departments that need to be contacted, not just the police. So those are things that are very important, and we want to bring those things to light.
And when it comes to public safety and obviously student athletes, Mr. President, what are the trends that you and your team are looking at right now?
The trends as far as
public safety, what are those new public safety trends that you see?
Well, I think, Josh can probably, get more detail on that, but I'm pretty sure when it comes to technology, back in the days, we had a home phone where we pick up the phone and dial 911. Well, we got cell phones now. We got apps now. So I think he can touch base more on those new technologies that public is just not aware of.
And what are those technologies that the public are not aware of right now, Mr.?
Looking at the generations now, it seemed to be that most
younger generations are in tune to the technology. As you know, everyone is using TikTok. Now we go to, because of COVID, now people are doing things virtually. They have access to Zoom. They also has access to doing things such as TED Talk. The main goal that we are targeting within public safety is just to bring awareness to the community, and not only just bringing awareness, but building a relationship with the community, and also recruitment. We have numerous of jobs within public safety, and our goal is to prepare, to train individuals who want a career in public safety, to let them understand that this is a life-changing career opportunity that will change your life when you come and work for public safety. And that's something that we also target, and it plays hand in hand somewhat with technology as well.
And can I touch base on that one? And so just bring everything full circle right quick. This event that we're doing is brought to you by America's Best Social Choice of Charleston, in partnership with Charleston County. Right. This is the precursor to our extensive program what we're doing to help broaden this information. So we got a breakout session that's done at Low Country Acceleration Academy. It's off of Rivers Avenue. It's a great high school that just came, and we're going to have our breakout session August 12th at their campus. And the purpose of that is, like you just said, is to introduce those high school kids into another different type of career, right? And it's a great careers in public safety that just has a culture of people we don't really know about. So we're this is the precursor to the Safety Day event, and every year we're going to do a March Madness event, and then a breakout session. We can bring communities involved and have public safety more attractive to the community.
Obviously you're a basketball star, have been for many years. What are those other careers that you see basketball athletes now going into besides just playing for professional basketball or professional baseball or professional football?
Well, that's the thing. A lot of kids don't have a lot of access to other different type of careers. If you don't get a job in your craft or sport you're playing in, then it's kind of, it's very minimal of the thought process of what kids can do. So having these, different careers for dispatch and, EMS and, just different things all in public safety, kids would be much more in tune. So an our social competence program we're doing at Seacoast, they're definitely a part of. It's an hour and a half long program. But in 30 minutes, we're doing Athletes Think Alike through Ashley Ainsworth up in Philadelphia. She's zooming in. Also, they'll be doing some 30-minute classes on CPR and natural disasters. But when you're talking about social competence and bringing kids all involved into this whole thing, it's a 360 approach on what we're doing. And I think we appreciate them for coming along and understanding our mission to help the community be much more aware.
And Mr. Joshua, let me ask you this. Obviously, you're out there in the community, you're talking with students, you're going to the schools. So what are those public safety careers that they're interested in right now?
A few of those positions that we have available is a paramedic position. We also have EMTs, which is emergency medical technician. We have a firefighter positions that are open within Arendal District. We also have public safety telecommunicator positions that are open. And the greatest thing about those positions are when individuals come in and they go through the training, if they decide that they do not want to, for example, stay in the medical aspect of public safety, they can get the training that they need, and they can also decide to move forward and go into the medical field, let's say in a hospital or nursing, because they get those hands-on experience as an EMT. And I think that's the greatest part, that we also push individuals to pursue careers outside of public safety if they want, but they can also get it could be a stepping stone for them to get where they are or where they want to be, And also the fact that we do have internships program for students in middle school and high school. They come in, we have middle school come in just to gain the information, but it is more so relating to high schoolers. But that internship helps, and it makes a huge difference in those individual lives who are not used to having someone to take their time to educate them and prepare them for the real world.
So, and one more thing, I got to put a cherry on that, because you asked about the athletes. When we win a game, an athlete twists his ankle, what happens? EMS comes out on the table.
Right.
Security around the whole time, security is securing their place. So it's a whole lot of different careers that athletes can transitioning if they are, introduced to them. That's what I say that.
And how are they introduced now, sir?
Question for me?
Yes, sir.
I don't. They introduced now through Safety Day. We're doing it through a partnership with Charleston County and having this information poured into the athletes' radar per se.
And what else is on your radar when it comes to public safety?
Well, I think that's the gist of it. Do you want to name the departments that'll be here so you kind of give it like a gist of
Yes, I can. At Safety Day, we're having 5 departments within public safety, which is housed at Charleston County government. Within those departments, we have 911 dispatch, we have emergency management, emergency medical service, we have CJCC, which is Charleston County Criminal Justice Coordinator Council, we have Allendale Fire Department. We also now have a biological science center that is coming into the making. We're in the process of getting that going, but we're also going to partner with the sheriff. So the sheriff will be here. The sheriff department will come to Safety Day. They will have their booth as well. We also will have the United States Coast Guard will be a part of this, and also the United States Attorneys, United States Army will be here as well for the Safety Day. So those are a few of our public safety vendors that will be participating and providing information and recruiting for careers in that field as well.
And see, public safety kind of gets in a box, because before meeting Josh and working with him, my public safety was in case something happens or injury is happening. But it's obviously that, but it's much more careers than just the police and the EMS that we're accustomed to. So yeah.
And let me ask you, Mr. Joshua, how many people are you recruiting for these positions now?
As many as we can. We have over 20 positions within 911 dispatch, within our telecommunicators. We have so many positions. So we want to train as many young folks that's out there who's willing to serve their community. We're willing to train them, polish them up, and have them to be able to serve.
Now, what's your recruiting goal by the end of this year?
The goal is to have at least over 100 people employed for Charleston County government within public safety.
And going back to those middle and high school students, how many students right now are in those internship programs?
Well, that's the whole thing. It's almost like, a grassroots thought process. When the kids in social competent programming, our 5th through 8th graders that we're working with, and then the departments come in and do their 30-minute introduction, well, that 5th or 7th grade, they'd be like, oh my gosh, look, that's what CPR does. That's what, so they kind of learn behavior of a new interest.
Yes.
So by the time they get to high school, right, their interest is something where in public safety. Because normally in high school, kids don't really know if they're going to go into a career because they never really was introduced to that yet.
Right.
So we kind of planting that seed early, giving them early access to this type of careers.
And you know this area just like everybody else, from on down. Where is this access lacking right now? What areas need to be trained on this?
I think everybody needs to be more informed on public safety. Our focus is just student athletes, but the community as a whole needs to be informed on. So this event is not just for student athletes. Yeah, it's a free throw shooting contest for kids, but the whole setup is going to be, we'll have tables around the concourse. Right. So each department will get a chance to go in and tell about their what they do. We have a free throw shooting contest, and then parents and families can walk around and get more information. And don't forget, Chick-fil-A will be serving sandwiches ahead.
I like this salad. It's really good. So let me recap and tell me who, what, when, where, how.
Okay, cool. I can give you a whole rundown if you let me. So March 25th,
Yes, sir.
10 to 1, it's the Safety Day Jermel President free throw shooting contest brought to you by America's Best Choice of Charleston in partnership with Charleston County. Chick-fil-A sandwich will be served. Later on that day, we have a Rick Barry underhanded free throw shooting contest at the Alley.
That's right.
Doing from 6 to 8, watching Elite 8 March Madness.
Yes, sir.
Then we also have our spring basketball program coming up. Evaluations in March 6th and March 8th for grades 3rd, 5th, and 8th. And then our social competence program at Seacoast every Thursday. You can go online and register for all the information. But we're excited to have them on board and just looking to do some great things in the community.
And let me talk to you in generalizations right now about public safety and obviously student athletes. How do you actually establish a safety-centered culture?
Easy, through our social competence classes. When you got kids, coming in and getting classes and information on how to do things, that raising interest, that raising an awareness. And so you don't start in high school. We start in that 5th through 8th grade. So kind of teaching them what to do and kind of prevention versus treatment per se. So I think that's our best approach. The answer I can give to you right now is we starting the grassroots approach to it and doing it that way.
What has been an approach to prevention and treatment?
What has it been approach to what?
To prevention and treatment.
What's the approach to prevention?
Yeah, what has that been in the past?
Well, I don't know if that existed, and we would kind of be partnered up with that group or that energy to help do that. I've never seen a program that involves basketball and public safety. So we're kind of starting this thing off like that. So if there are any other programs out there, please call us, and we need your energy as well. But I think this is the start of a new beginning that's going to be really great.
Now, how should high school and obviously college athlete programs implement mechanisms that review every aspect of institutions' care delivered to students?
Say that one more time, Keith.
Yeah, how should high school programs and obviously college athletic programs implement mechanisms that will actually review every aspect of the institution's care delivered to students?
Well, I think that's an institutional problem. I think every college, every program should have that type of program involved in their programs. I think it's such a service in high school. It's a service in college. Yes. But another thing too, we're talking about in Low Country Celebration Academy. When I was in high school, you have these career days, but the career days are probably chosen from who is interested in that community. There's never been a take from the high school kids to say, "Hey, look, what's your interest?" Right, and then you invite those businesses or corporations that's of the kids' interest. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. We kind of trying to fill that interest because it's there, it's needed. So we're trying to fill that interest as much as possible.
And I hate to be redundant. I know most of those answers will be answered at this event. But when you talk to those kids at those schools, what are their interests?
It's their interest is what an arm reach to them. You know what I mean? I think music, rap, sports. That's kind of the extension of certain cultures' views. So I don't know. We're trying to work on bringing different things to the community and seeing if that works.
And I hate to ask this because this is a redundant question too. But what is the culture's view on public safety?
What is the culture on public safety?
Yes, ma'am.
That's something that we're trying to figure out. I think having this event and when we have Q&As with parents and families, we can kind of engage what they want, what they don't want, and then through that we can kind of put in the system what's needed.
And Mr. Joshua, what else is really needed from your perspective, from a public safety perspective?
I think long-term relationships is something that's important. Many times we get in and we recruit individuals, or we go out and educate the community about services that we have, and we forget about them. I think it's important to continue to keep that relationship, continue to serve them. Although we may not be doing it, although we may be off of doing our duties, I think still if you see an individual that may lack knowledge of something that we do in public safety, educating them right there on the market. Let's say we go into a store and we're not on duty, educating them on public safety that they may be dealing with in their everyday lives. And I also think strong relationship with seniors as well, because it's very important. Although there are some seniors homes who have their own type of safety planning that they may go about, but having a relationship with those who may not be a part of a senior center, who may be in their home or a senior home, that we able to go out and educate them on how to prepare for any type of safety issues that may come up, and that could be medical safety, it could be fire safety, it could be any of those safeties.
What is that hidden demographic that you want to target when it comes to public safety?
For sure, we have had a difficulty reaching the rural areas, and we want to be able to target the rural areas because there are African Americans that live out so far and they are lacking the information, and that's simply because they're not engaged. They do not come to some things that events that may be far out from where they currently live. So one of our goals is to go out to the rural areas and target the demographic out there, because everybody deserves to know about services within public safety, and everyone should be afforded an opportunity to have a career opportunity within public safety if they desire. But if not that, the main goal is just to bring awareness. So I think that will be definitely a benefit.
And sir, what is the biggest difference? What have you learned more about public safety that you didn't know before?
Just the different departments, the access, the resources. Now, don't ask me to regurgitate them to you, but I'm learning as I go. But those are things that I'm learning, just the different things that they do versus just being in a box about public safety. And also that the different careers that's out there, and the transition of kids that's in sports and how they can get into careers of public safety. So it's a Pandora box, and my mind's opening up to do some things, and when that happens, then it can get really, really busy for me, because I try to make everything happen. But it's exciting.
So what percentage of those kids want to get into those other careers?
Well, we're just starting, so we don't know that yet.
Okay.
But I would think, the interest should be there. Hopefully it would be there, and we should have a good turnaround.
And Mr. Joshua, one last question for you. What do you want to learn more about student athletes when it comes from a public safety standpoint?
Wow, that's a great question.
Yeah, he throws a man.
Hey, I'm a journalist.
I would say I would want to learn more from how student athletes, their cognitive way of thinking as it comes down to safety themselves. I also want to learn how they take safety home with them, because when you go home, sometimes some parents, sometimes you don't know where a person come from, and some people come from all ways of life, and they may not have guidance. So being able to go to their home and see how they bring these safety tips, these safety tools into their home, and educate their parents or educate their brothers and sisters, or educate their grandmother on what to do in the sense of emergencies.
And Mr. President, obviously when you played here at the College of Charleston many years ago, and you still it seems like that.
It was many years ago.
But you still have a great presence here on this campus and around the Charleston area. But when it came to public safety, who guided you when you had those issues with public safety?
I didn't have any guidance when it comes to that. I knew 911. That's all we knew. But CPR, I think I took a CPR course here. But those life-saving tactics, it's just not spoken of enough in the community. No matter what community you're in. So we gotta change that as a community. We want to do that through sports.
Now that you are a businessman, an entrepreneur, and a father, what do you want to learn more about public safety now?
Like I said before, just the access, the resources. I'm definitely intrigued about the different careers athletes can transition into, and that's my main focus. The whole time I've always been an advocate of athletes having, those transferable skills of, going from college and not making it to the pros, but having something to fall back on. So that's something that's always been said, have something to fall back on. But you got to give athletes different things to juggle instead of figuring out for themselves. And that's one of the things that we I don't want to get in a story about that, but that's important to show them different careers they can go to if they don't make it to the next level.
And for everyone who doesn't know about your successful story, what did you fall back on when you didn't want to play professional or play basketball anymore?
The DAE Foundation. This is 22 years in the making. And Rick Barry, who was a great friend of mine, was coaching up in New Jersey. And when I figured out just the cutthroat atmosphere it is, I just figured out I wanted to get something more concrete. So came and started DAE Foundation, and now we're here.
So what is the biggest difference about that foundation from 22 years ago to right now?
He said the key word is relationships. I can call you to pick up a diamond. You know what I mean? That's relationships. You know what I'm saying? Having Josh come on and being a part of that. Eric Watson, a good friend of mine. Those are relationships. So I think being a great, having a business mind, you have to have great relationships. And saying that, I want to say big ups to National Land Realty. Jason Walter has been huge for their success. So that's a great relationship that we're working together to make these things happen.
And what relationships do you want to form when it comes to public safety next?
I think what Josh was talking about, the relationships of through that whole foundation, the whole public safety program, building a relationship with the DAE Foundation to help us educate the community. I mean, I don't know anything about public safety. I don't know anything about departments, and having them involved, that's the relationship we want to make sure is solid.
Yes, indeed.
One last thing,
Yes, sir.
Kids on Point. It's been awesome.
Yes.
Helping us out with, helping kids and being more involved too. I'm trying to touch all my points, everybody. So if I miss you, I still love you.
Yes, indeed. Well, Jermel President with DAE Foundation, and of course, Mr. Williamson with the Charleston County Public Safety Department. Thank you for your time here on Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.